up, everybody? Welcome back to another Wisdom Girl and Wise Women show. It's your girl, Wisdom Girl Carmel Miller, and this is.
Hey everybody, this is Leslie Christie, Wise Woman.
And today we are going to be talking about how wisdom comes in small packages.
Yes, wisdom comes in small packages. And do you know, a lot of times we think that wisdom comes in large packages, right, Wise Woman? I mean, wisdom girl, Wise Woman.
Yes, yes.
We do. We think that if you got the biggest thing, the most fluffy thing, the prettiest package because it's so huge, that is the best thing. But we come today to let you know that that's not necessarily true. And oftentimes, the things that have the most value are in small packages. The most quality are in small packages. What you got to say about that, Wisdom Girl?
Well, I completely agree, but things that come in large packages seems you said the things that have come in small packages have the most value, but the things that come in the biggest packages that we think have the best value end up breaking the most.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
broken first.
Yeah. Because the size of something doesn't always indicate its value. And so we want to talk about that. We want to break this down for you today so that you understand where value really comes from. Where is the wisdom in choosing those things? What is the thing that has the most value? So, what are we going to say about this, Wisdom Girl?
Well, small words no and yes also indicate value.
Yeah. Small world. Yeah. The no, the yes. Those two tiny words are, if you use wisdom, right? You will find that there is so much wisdom in those small, tiny words, those small packages that we're talking about. No and yes. Because you don't want to say no to something that you should be saying yes to.
Yes,
And
yes.
you don't want to say yes to something that you should be saying no to. And so, no and yes, they are powerful words, and we need to learn how to use them powerfully. You don't want to say no to something,
That's right.
that God is trying to to something God is trying to bless you with, right? And you certainly don't want to say yes to something that God is trying to hold you back from. So we got to use those two small words that are power packed with wisdom in the right way. So what you got to say about that, Wisdom Girl?
Well, all I have to say is don't get the two words confused. They don't mix.
Yeah. Come
They
on.
don't mix.
They
They
don't
don't
mix.
mix.
My
Like
goodness.
books on a bookshelf. Those two mix.
Right.
The words yes and no don't mix.
They don't mix. They don't mix.
Those
You
two
gotta
words don't
Mhm.
mix like salt and pepper on a sunny side up egg. They don't mix.
They don't mix. They don't mix.
Or cheese on mac and cheese.
Come on.
Or butter on biscuits.
Right. Yes and no. It doesn't mix. You gotta put it in this proper place and use it in the right way.
Don't even put
So
the two next to each other
don't
because
even
they
put
still
them next to
sound.
each other. Come on. Yes.
You have to leave the word no
Mm-hmm.
window behind me. Use that.
Right.
That's the word no right there.
Right. Right.
And then the things that are in front of me, the heater and the other window in front of me. That I got a window in my house
Mm-hmm.
that leads to another window.
Right.
That should be where the word yes is. Okay, so I'm going to say yes to this. Do it, Erica Campbell.
Doing Erica Campbell.
Yes is
Okay. What do you mean by
positive.
that?
All right, her new single "Positive" came out.
Okay.
That's the word yes. Yes is positivity. No is negativity. Why is
Mm-hmm.
there no Y in positive though? But there's an N in negative, and that word is always capitalized. That not word, but that letter N is capitalized for no.
Yes. Fun no. Right. You know why? Because sometimes, but no can be a positive word sometimes, right? Because
True.
you want to say no to something that blocks you from growing. You want to say no to something that's going to take the time away from you that you could be using in other areas. You want to say no to something that's trying to stop you from reaching your destiny. You want to say no to a relationship. Come on, somebody that you know you don't need to be in. You want to say no to that bully that's trying to get you to do something or behave in a certain way that you shouldn't behave in. No is a powerful word, and we need to use it in the right way.
More often in the right way.
Yes. And the same thing with yes, like say yes to the right things. Yes, God, I'm going to move forward. Even though I don't understand. Yes, God, I'm going to do this thing you told me to do, even though I have no clue how to do it, but I trust you anyway. Yes, I'm going to complete what I said I'm going to do. So those two words, yes and no, are powerful. And it's a lot of wisdom in it if you learn to use it properly. And like Wisdom Girl said, they don't belong in the same place. Put one over here and one over there. They're not to be in the same area. My goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what else about those those things of wisdom that come in small packages?
Well, the things that come in small packages are the things that you need to look forward to. These are
Okay.
the things that you need to look forward to. You got a big package, be like, oh, okay, whatever. I get a big package, open it. There's no point in it because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they don't really work. They're eventually going to break.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the small packages things take a lot longer to break.
Okay. 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 I like jewelry comes in small packages, right? Jewelry.
But they're very easy to break. So,
Yeah. But listen, Here's something. What about children? Children are in small package, right? Relatively speaking. But there is wisdom in that small package. And here's the thing that I want people to understand, that if you give children a space to express themselves, a space to say what's on their mind, on their heart, you will learn that they have a lot of wisdom hidden in them. They have a lot of things to share. And adults, you can become better. You can become bigger. You can learn a lot from just listening to a child and allowing them to speak. Come on, the days of saying that children should be seen and not heard. No, no, that's not even biblical. Where we get that from? Because I've learned from just being around children, especially you, Wisdom Girl, that there's a lot that children can say that is valuable, that adds to life, that adds to situations, that makes you think like, wow, okay, I get that. I see that. I never thought about that. And we need to begin to let them have this space so that they can learn. I mean, so that we can learn, so that they can share and we can learn from them. What you got to say about that?
I completely agree. I completely agree because us children, I
Mhm.
just think it just takes longer to admit saying I think I agree with you honestly, but I'm not an adult, but I do understand why we don't have that space where we can be like, oh, you are meant to be seen, not heard, or whatever.
Mhm.
I think it's because adults are sometimes understand
Mhm.
that understand that they live longer, so they think they're wiser, but they can't accept that fact that maybe
Mhm.
we know a little more than they do.
Mm. That is a hard concept, because I'm gonna tell you, there children in a lot of instances do know more than adults. Now, they might not have experience as adults, but there are things that they can share, things that they can contribute to a person, to a life, that adults can't. And this is why I say there is a reason why Jesus said for the children to come unto him, because they have value, they have something to add, because they listen, they are creative, they're not afraid, of things that adults, once you get to be an adult, that you are afraid of. They add to life. And if Jesus didn't feel that way, if Jesus didn't understand the value in children, he would have never shut his disciples down. He would have never been like, no, don't touch my babies. Let them come to me. Let them come to me, right?
Let the children come.
Let the children come. Exactly. And so we have to really understand that there is wisdom in these small packages. These children, there's a lot of wisdom in there. My goodness. So, on the flip side of this small package that has a lot of wisdom, there is something else we need to consider. What is that?
Larger things of quality or expense or things that cost half of your rent
Come on now.
are not always worth it. Although
It's not
the
always
children are
worth it.
watching that second part where I said, or cause half of your rent, we don't need to worry about that because we have no money.
But it's wisdom. You just shared some wisdom because I'm guarantee you there are some adults, some grown folks who will spend half their rent trying to get the latest, whatever it is. See, you see
What?
what I'm trying to say? There's wisdom in children. We need to listen to what they're saying. They will spend half of their check just to get the latest phone. My goodness. Just to get that latest pair of Nikes or whatever the latest sneaker is. I have
Balenciagas,
Balenciaga.
Yeezy,
Is it B Balenciagas or V Balenciagas?
Balenciagas,
Balenciaga. Okay. See?
Balenciagas, not Balenciaga.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're gonna get a pair of Balenciagas,
You're
it's
getting
going
this confused. You're totally getting this confused with
okay,
Louis
say it.
Vuittons. It's Balenciagas. You're
Okay,
getting this confused.
Balenciagas.
You're
Okay.
totally getting it confused.
All right, so y'all know I don't have those. Okay. But if you're gonna get a pair of Balenciagas, it's gonna cost you more than one paycheck. And people will think that because it's expensive, because it maybe it's wrapped in this pretty box, that it has more value. I got news for you. Those same Balenciagas that you spent $700 and up on, they still get scuffed up.
Actually, Balenciagas are kind of worth it because they don't get scuffed
But
because they are like socks. They're just socks
But
with
that's just
super
one
bottom.
style. They're not all made that way.
They're not.
No, no.
I
So
didn't know
they
that.
and your feet, that you still got to put your foot in them. So there's some rundown that will happen when you buy
But
when
they
you
could fit
purchase them.
all feet except they could fit feet that are smaller because it like grabs your foot
Like wraps around your foot.
like it like wraps around your foot. Like I wish I had a my mom has a pair of Balenciagas. I wish I had her sneakers to as an example. But it like I
I know what you're talking about.
it
But
like
wait a minute.
wraps around your
You
foot.
can get the same. Here's the point. You can get the same style that are not $7, $8, $900, $1,200. Because I got a
Actually, you can make
pair
it
of
home.
sneakers that wrap around your foot. That's like that sweater type, that cloth type. I got a pair of sneakers like that, and I God knows I ain't spend nowhere near what Balenciagas cost. Because I
But
ain't wasting my
you
money.
can make them
Now
themselves.
y'all can buy it for me if you want. I'll receive the gift.
Uh-uh.
but
Uh-uh. Mm-mm.
I ain't spending my money on it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I think that'll happen. It's not happening.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. So listen, it's the same thing like with cars. It's the same thing with cars. People wanted the biggest, prettiest, most fanciest car with all the bells and whistles. I understand because I like a nice car too. But I promise you, I will not be spending over what it's worth just so I could say I got the latest car. And when I drive the car off the lot, it depreciates at least 30 to 40%. I'm not doing
But I did a current event on New Zealand for school, and it was saying how they're gonna actually how New Zealand wants to stop pollution. So New Zealand's government is gonna pay all of their citizens
Mhm.
a lot of money so they can go from gas powered cars to electric cars.
Really?
Yeah, so that to stop it from pollution.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. But that doesn't cut down the cost of it. And it still devalues once you drive it off the lot. So
Yes,
just
but like
because it's big and pretty, don't make it worth the price that you have to pay for it.
But the problem, that's not what I'm trying to point out. I'm trying to point out that in New Zealand, I'm gonna tell you something. Gas-powered cars are one of the reasons why there's 50% of car. There's actually at least 30% of car accidents, right? Car accidents. Then there's the car accident that kills the biker, the 40%.
Okay.
That's 70%. And then the other 30% is gas. Gas actually destroys the cars. Like gas is you cannot really see gas, so that gives that opportunity to go into the car and open whatever pops, which keeps the car going.
Okay. Which is why you have to keep taking it to the mechanic after. Okay, that's kind of making some sense. That's kind of making. I see you. Come on, wisdom girl. I see you. That's kind of makes sense because manufacturers will always create something in a way where you have to keep returning it. Everybody knows you got to keep a car up.
Exactly.
Right? There's some cars you got to always keep up. It's always you take it for one thing, it's 5 things wrong with it. And it's on purpose. It's on purpose.
But electricity comes from hydroelectric power, which is energy from water, which is from rain, which will never stop coming down.
Yeah, right.
Which makes electricity a resource, a renewable resource that will not become scarce. Okay. Hydroelectric power will never become scarce.
So with that being said, there's wisdom in knowing how to decide what kind of power you're going to have.
Exactly. You're going to use. You want to get the Tesla, and actually, Tesla, Bugattis, Tesla, Bugatti, Bentleys.
How you know all these fancy cars? I need to know how you know all this.
Tesla, Bentley, Bugatti, Bentleys, Lamborghinis.
Okay.
The reason why is because these cars save people's lives. Gas is
hold on. Time out. You trying to tell me that my favorite car, which one of these days I will get, a Bentley, saves lives?
That's exactly. Because it's electric.
Because I need to explain this to my husband. How?
Okay, so these cars that I named, the 5 popular cars, are electric.
Okay.
Gas saves lives. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not saying gas saves lives. Gas kills. Destroys lives. Kills people. Knock them out and put them into heaven.
Or. Okay, sorry.
And then gas destroys lives because they go up your nose, which causes it to close up your nose, right? And it goes to your brain, right? Which causes your brain not to really think as much as it can, but your brain is strong to say, ugh. So then it shakes it out. Instead of coming out of below your nose,
right?
It goes down to your lungs, which causes you to cough. It may cause lung cancer. So
that's true.
The reason why people make these cars so expensive.
That's true.
Is because they're people themselves. So they know, okay, so I like to use my humanity likes to use expensive things.
Okay. So now, I can tell Pastor Martin that the reason why I absolutely have to have a Bentley is because it saves lives. You don't have to depend on gas all the time. And I can just, he can just invest in that car and we good. Come on, wisdom girl.
And I'm trying to tell you this because I had to learn this on my own. My school doesn't teach this. I had to learn this on my own.
Okay.
So this is something that I had to learn on my own that I didn't realize until I did my current event I was like, well, gas, it goes down to, instead of your gas, it's like it goes to your brain and then it goes and then it goes down to your lungs, which causes you to cough and it gives you lung cancer. And instead of going from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, it goes straight to stage 4.
Wow.
So that's why it's like, so I'm saying the reason why people do this is so that you can buy the cars, so
Yeah.
that you can survive. These expensive save lives.
Yeah, that's true.
And because as a human, because there's no former child, no, it's human. They like to spend money. And
Right.
most the reason why half of the population, at least 50% of the population on Earth, have these type of cars is because of that, is because of their lives. So half of the population from this, plus New Zealand, if we doesn't change from gas powered cars all the way to electric, New Zealand is the people from the world who have the gas powered cars.
Electric power.
50% of 50% of the world plus New Zealand 100% gives half of the population, 50% of the population, which is about 50,000 people.
Well, more than that, but I get what you're saying.
1,000 people or more, 100,000, maybe 100,000 million people. That gives New Zealand and the other people a chance to live. Meanwhile, the other ones have most likely to die from it.
Wow. Now you see why we say that wisdom comes in small packages. Again, children have a lot to teach, a lot to share, and we need to listen because we learn from them. So we have to not be so quick to say, don't speak, don't say that. Da, 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 da. No, let them share because they teach. Come on, adults. Y'all know you'll learn from these children. They teach, and we need to listen. Now, they need to listen to us as adults just because we are adults and we've been through some stuff, but they have knowledge that God has given them, that they should be able to share. Now, all right, so there are 2 books in the Bible that are small books that are housed with wisdom. And Wisdom Girl Wise Woman, we try to share wisdom that's coming from these 2 books in the Bible. We share other things, from other people. Like, who are some of the people that we share? Some quotes from people that we have shared.
There's a lot of them, but I'm only going to name at least 5 for them.
Okay.
Bishop T.D. Jakes, Priscilla Shirer, Tamela Mann, Kirk Franklin, and Bishop Tony Evans.
Right. So we share wisdom. We share wisdom quotes from other people, but there are 2 books in the Bible that we really try to share wisdom from, so that you could learn how to wise up, live, and prosper. And those 2 books are, tell them, Wisdom Girl, what 2 books do we use?
Proverbs and Ecclesiastes.
Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. Small books. Again, wisdom comes in small packages. And what we love about Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, first of all, they're known as the wisdom books, is that their verses are very small, very, very small. Small verses, power packed with wisdom. And so if you can get into the habit of just reading those books, of really not just reading it, but living it, my God, it will change your life. It will change your life. And so we want people to understand, don't just look for the big shiny stuff, the things that come in these big packages, because sometimes, it could be a bomb, not a bomb. It could be a fail. Let me use that term. It could be a fail. You think it's something huge and wonderful. You ever open up a big package, you're like, oh, that's nice. But you got a small package, you're like, come on, that was dope. Well, for you, no, because you like the big, the big doll houses, if it's big for you, usually, it's
like, yes. The only thing that really gets destroyed, I was known as the doll destroyer as a baby.
You what?
I was known as the doll destroyer.
Yeah, you were.
I would be cutting off the dolls.
You were. But the point is that there's wisdom in small packages. And so we want you to look for the wisdom that God has available to you, not just in big stuff, not the big stages, not the big, big jobs, not even the big money. Let that come to you naturally because you use the wisdom that's available to you in the places that God has in front of you. Whether it's using those two words that we talked about, the power of no, the power of yes, and like Wisdom Girl said, they don't belong in the same place. They don't belong together. They have different purposes. And using wisdom from children, listen to them, see what they have to say, see how they share, and then understanding that a fancy car is not always the best car. Come on, because you waste money. As soon as you drive off the lot, forget it. You don't 50% of it, maybe 40% is down the drain. Same thing with the latest phones. They all look the same. They made the same. They might have one extra camera, like Wisdom Girl was sharing with me earlier. One extra camera, but it works the same way. We want you to operate in wisdom, and find those places, find those things that really, really honors God because you use the wisdom that God has given you. All right, Wisdom Girl, it's a wrap for today.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Don't now. This show was a little fragile.
Mm.
And wisdom, fragile and wisdom. Just saying. So, just tell your brain, make sure that you wrap the show up in bubble wrap, and make sure it has a big word on it called fragile. Don't drag.
Fragile. Okay. All right.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
Bye,
So
guys.
tell them what we would like for them to do to stay connected with us.
Like, share, subscribe, follow, tag.
Yeah. Click the bell on YouTube.
Friend.
All that stuff. Friend us. And visit our website, www.wisdomgirlwisewoman.com, and come be a part of our community. Sign up so that you can get all the information. We are beginning to blog every week. We try to do even more than once a week. And we got major things that are coming up soon. And we want you guys to be in on it. We're on 2 TV stations. And the Lord is adding to us. So we love you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, with Dream Big, Think Bigger. Bye-bye, everybody.